Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. We are going to do a bit of a bonus video today. A band called Impale reached out to me and asked if I could check out one of their songs. It came out yesterday. The band's called Impale. The song is called Obsession. So yeah, let's get into this and see what's up. I think this is kind of a cool way to introduce what's coming up next week, which is going to be Unknown Gems Week, where we look at smaller, lesser known bands. So it's kind of a cool start, even though it's a little early, for that theme. So let's get into this. This is Impale's Obsession. The mix is the first thing that's really standing out to me here. It's very blunt and low. Yeah, really widening out that sound a little bit here. A little bit of vocal diversity. Yeah, really going for atmosphere. Texture bass play right here. We got some harmonies there in the vocal line. Really cool atmosphere work going on right here. Yeah, it's interesting how similar a lot of these sections sound, but they find a bit of diversity with time field and mix, not necessarily musically. Okay, a little bit of a track outro. Interesting. So obviously they're going for more of a textural atmospheric sound rather than writing strong melodic composition. A lot of it is about how the song feels, how the song hits. That's why we tend to have a lot of rhythmic diversity in this song, but not so much melodic and harmonic diversity. We have no clean vocals. A lot of the guitar lines tend to be sort of breakdown elements, really utilizing just 1 to 3 notes and, varying the distance between the notes and how long they're held, really working with that rhythmic aspect. There were a couple of elements in here that I thought were done very well. First of all, like I said, the song feels very similar throughout. I couldn't really tell just sonically any sort of variation into um, like a verse chorus idea. Pretty much everything had the same overall feel. But what was interesting is how they developed a bit of identity to each of these sections based on time feel, which mostly had to do with how what the drums were doing and how the guitars were breaking up their rhythms. But also mixing. I mentioned that the beginning when the song started, I said that the mix was very blunt and low. And it sounded to me like it was missing something, and it's probably just because I'm used to having some sort of bright aspect to weigh to be like a counterweight for the heaviness. The song just has so much low end that, and like I said, it was kind of blunt. It was kind of dull. I don't want to say dull like it was boring. It was dull like it just wasn't sharpened. Um, and it was really missing some punch. It was just this growling, so to speak. This low end rumble. Um, Mix wise, I'm not saying the music was like that, but just the mix had this low, blunt, dull aspect to it, and it was very interesting to start with that because, like I said, it to me that's missing something, but also the lack of something could be, a musical taste, an idea. To really emphasize what you want to focus on. If you want people to notice how low or deep or heavy your music is, don't put anything bright and light in there. That's definitely one way to do that. Um, so it's interesting that we started with that. One or two sections later, we introduced a bit of a wider, brighter mix. So that was one way that they added some diversity into their different sections is through the mix, which is interesting. That's something that I don't talk about very often on the channel. Engineering, sound production, those aren't really aspects I'm strong at. I'm slowly getting better at it, doing these composition jams every month and actually having to mix and master the music. I am still very, very bad at it. My expertise is on the paper. I will write notes all day long and write beautiful melodies and harmonies, but I will pass it off to an audio engineer if I have the opportunity to. So it's interesting because it's not really my expertise, so I'm not used to looking for it. And it's also not something I would ever choose to do in my music. If I wanted to create diversity, I would do that in the music itself. So it's really cool seeing bands utilizing modern techniques, utilizing the mix itself to influence the way that the song needs to be. Um, it's just a very modern way to write music, and I think it's really cool to see people doing that, even if it's not something I would personally do. Um, though I've said that in the past, I've actually uh, no, that's way off topic. That was a big ramble, even for me. We're not going to go there. But it's really cool to see bands utilizing these new ways of writing music that aren't just about the notes on the paper, that the song really relies on a specific kind of engineering style or engineering work to really, come through and shine the way that the band members, the people who write the music, want it to. The other way they sort of introduce some diversity into their sections is rhythmic. The whole song is based upon rhythmic texture work. So to expect any sort of melodic diversity is kind of not meeting them on their own terms, and I'm trying not to go into that because I really dearly wish this had some strong sense of melody over all this. To me, it feels like the entire song is the sound floor, and it is just missing that that lead element. But I understand that this is just the way the music is intended to be written and listened as. It's just the way the genre is supposed to be. So I'm trying to meet it on its own terms, even if I, I really wish there was one element added to it. But yeah, so they do a lot of rhythmic diversity. We hear straight up single note elements. We heard a little bit of some rhythmic accentuation, almost giving it a little bit of a djenty vibe in one of the sections. And it's just this overall idea of taking one, two, three notes. Didn't really sound like we were moving too far in chords either. It was more about sitting in this one chord with just a handful of notes and really seeing how far they can stretch that, where it's still listenable, still enjoyable, and doesn't become, for lack of a better word, boring. So that there's always something new to be listened to. With that said, I'm sure old viewers of the channel uh, is not my cup of tea. You guys probably know that. I already mentioned that I wish there was some melody to it. But like I said, it is really cool to see the other side of the coin. We've heard a few bands like this in the past that really dig into the textural stuff, almost to the exclusion of writing any melody into their music. But like I said, I feel like this one kind of takes it a little bit in a new direction with really emphasizing some of the mix work. I think if the mixing had been similar throughout all the sections, the song would have fallen real flat. And it's interesting to hear each section having its own mix to it. Also, that trap ending, the trap drum pattern, I kind of would have liked to hear that a little bit more throughout. It's a cool way to end the song, but I think having trap elements in heavy metal like this would be a really cool combination. It's something I kind of hope that they explore more because I think it's a really good trap drum pattern. It's interesting, even if it is a short repetition, but I would love to hear how the rhythmic elements in that, especially with the hi-hat work, works against against or with the rhythmic elements in the band that we saw in the drum and guitar. So yeah, I hope this band sees a lot of success. That's the word I want. Because, like I said, I think it's really cool what they're doing, and I would love to see them have the ability to take more chances. This kind of feels like a safe song to me, but I can see some cracks where they really want to do more, and maybe they're just not sure if taking these elements from other genres or other ideas they have is really going to work. And I want them to find a space where they're financially stable, where they have that financial safety net to make something a little more experimental, because I feel like that's the angle they want to go in. So yeah, Impale, if you guys are watching, take those chances. If I'm right about that, please take those chances. Really push your craft. I think that would be amazing to see where you take this. I think this is a great starting point, even if it's not something I would listen to casually, but I really want to see where you guys can take this idea and really develop the sound into your own. So those are my thoughts on Impale's Obsession. This is where you guys come and hit me up in the comments. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Maybe it bounced off of you. Anything that stood out to you, or maybe something I missed. When you're done commenting, head up to the description box. There is a Linktree link that will take you to everything adjacent to the channel. We got spreadsheets, we got Discord servers, we got Patreon campaigns if you want to help support the channel. All those links are in the Linktree. It's real nice to have. It's just, I don't know, to have it all in one place without these messy URLs just filling up a box of text. It's convenient. I'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC, with whatever we're doing tomorrow. Just kidding. Tomorrow's some special selection stuff. And then this week upcoming, like I mentioned earlier, is Unknown Gems. We're going to look at more stuff like this that has more of a smaller following, hopefully bands that not many people are aware of, and trying to get these bands and new fans connected. Alright, until next time, remember to be critical, not cynical, with the music you listen to, and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you choose to watch my videos.